Guys, just a small story. Okay, now okay, I will have food later. Um, So we are discussing about a cloud. Okay, yeah. So Anaga also came. So we'll see. So we are discussing about a cloud. So then I will give you a small information, somewhat clear information about it. But whenever the question comes up in a cloud, what are the cloud services? What are the cloud services? Okay, and types of cloud. So you can see differentiation. So types of cloud. So these are the main service models are there. So infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. Okay, so this is infrastructure as a service. Okay, next one is platform as a service, and next one is software as a service. There is a three type of service as a services are there. It is not service; it is as service. Okay? And there is a pictures also there to understand how what is this kind of stuff. Okay, functions as a service. Okay, infrastructure as a code. They are giving some other clouds also. Weather clouds. Okay, so another one is so based on what people are providing the services. Okay, private cloud, public cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud, community cloud, like that. The benefits of cloud computing is reduce computing cost. So entire morning my thing is I'm trying to tell like managing a infrastructure, cost of infrastructure and all. Reduce the computing cost. So you need to buy a data center and their security things, physical security, network security, license of servers. So entire virtualization management, people who are managing the servers, that entire cost will be reduced. Okay, we are using a cloud services by pay as you go type on. Improved delivery time for infrastructure and application services. So we can so instead of planning and installing and managing this infrastructure, we can directly start. Okay, the providing a services, so it will delivery time reduces. Ensure availability of services. Ensure availability of services. Monitor performance of services. Okay, so we can monitor our cloud related things also. Okay, so these are the cloud computing benefits. And already I told what is the difference between traditional data center to cloud. Traditional versus cloud computing. So you can see from here, Geek for Geeks is there first, and also there is so many other things also websites. So what is a cloud computing and what is the traditional computing? Traditional computing means is using as a physical data center for sorting data assets, running complete network systems for daily operations. In the data, this is in this access to data software and store by users limit the device for official network they are connected with it. So this is the differences for a difference between traditional computing and cloud computing. It refers to delivery of different services on local server. It refers delivery of different services such as a data and program through internet on different servers. Okay, so through internet it is working. It is in the local only. It takes on a third party servers and that is hosted by third party hosting companies. So it is take place on physical hardware and website servers. So you have your own physical hardware, physical hard drives, and we are putting our data. Here it is use third their own means it's not in our local. Ability to access the data anywhere at any time by user. So you can access your data, your servers, your services from anywhere. User can access data only on system in which data is stored. It is a more cost effective as compared to I think you can't able to see. I will increase the font size. Cost effectiveness as a compared to the traditional computing as operations and maintenance of data center is shared among the several parties that is run that in turn reduce the cost of public services. So what happen when you put a more. Okay, so when you are buying a data center, you are using your own data center, right? So here it is less cost effective as compared to cloud computing because one has to buy expensive equipment to maintain server operate and maintain a server. So when you are buying your own, then it is a very cost one, but you are sharing along with the others the same infrastructure. So then you're paying for a small, for example, think like you build a building, like you want your own shop like that. Okay, so like you are maintaining your own infrastructure like I want my I need a house to stay. Now I'm buying a house to stay in Pune, for example. That is more cost effective, right? So I have to construct a house and I have to buy a land, I have to construct a house, I have to maintenance and all. But if I stay in apartment or maybe a group house, so we are sharing, right? So most of people share room also. Of course I'm not sharing. Okay, I'm in a one room, but I'm not sharing with anyone, but still if I share, then cost will be reduced anyway. So make it separately, separate rooms are there. So if you are staying there, then you are paying for your room cost only, not for entire building cost. Understand, entire building cost. If you are staying in a building, then only one. And if you are not utilize the space, now and in old days also, nowadays we are a flat system, means you are buying a home, means you are buying a flat only. Earlier days, there's a lot of land availability and the cost is a reasonable cost. So what they will do? So earlier days, they try to build a house. Okay, they build a house only one certain part, and if anything free portions are available, so they will give a rent. So they will get money by rent, right? Also, and earlier days taxation system and banking account, that is not much fun. So obviously they can able to earn a little bit money, even though they work or not work. So at least by my, like my grandmother is getting little bit money for her monthly expenses, at least for herself. Okay, minimum to minimum on their own life, like to lead a monthly life which is for staying and food. So at least by like two portions are there, she given a rent and she's staying there. So my point it is, uh, nowadays we are in apartment. So because single home construction is very difficult, costly maintenance, and we don't use remaining space, and we are not sharing. If in case if we are not sharing, then what will happen? So better it is go to the apartment. So you don't need to worry about what you don't need about individual house to apartment. So individual house you have to check yourself like a gate security, water facilities, current related things, power supply. Okay, everything we have to take care of ourselves. But in a flats you don't require, right? So you are paying for a flat. You paid 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs for a flat to buy, or maybe you are taking rent. So what happened? So everything, the security based on the entire building security is given by that community or maybe entire apartment kind of stuff. Water supply, there is a guy who will take care of that water supply, power supply and everything, right? If you have any problem inside a house, then immediately call the maintenance, he will come and repair it. So that is what the burden will be reduced and cost effectiveness will reduced by cloud computing, because of it is a huge infrastructure is available and we are taking the part what to be required, and we don't worry about other things. We are paying what we are using, we are not paying for everything, and we are not taking the burden of that administrative work and all. The most it's more user friendly as compared to traditional computing, because user can have access to data anytime anywhere using internet. Lesser user friendly are compared to cloud computing because the data cannot be accessed anywhere. If user has to access data in other system, then he need to be save it on an external storage medium. So whatever it is, you cannot access your services or your virtual machines or maybe your data or your applications, because you have to be there in office. Through network only we can use it. It is difficult and unsecure to access from the through normal internet. Okay, here we can use a normal internet. Like if I want to access the cloud, I can use normal internet. If I want to access my office um, data center, then I need to connect a VPN. Otherwise, normal it is not secure one. It requires fast, reliable, and stable internet connection to access information anywhere, anytime. It does not require any internet connection to access data or information. Free connection or what? Okay. It does not require any internet connection to access data. And so we are accessing locally, so you don't require internet connection. But you can able to access from anywhere because of the data center. The cloud service provider is located in somewhere, so we can access from outside of that organization. So compulsory through internet we can able to access. It provide more storage space, servers as well as more computing power, so that application software run faster and efficiently. So how much data space is required? So that much you can able to get by paying for storage and multiple servers, computing power, increasing RAM and CPU capacities by request. It's less storage as compared to the cloud computing. Why it is less storage means it's a dedicated one. So I planned for 4 terabytes, for example. I take a 4 terabyte of storage. Now my requirement increases, it become 8 terabytes. Again I have to buy another 8 terabytes of disk space um, per physically. But here it is just we have to increase the capacity for a few days, and later if you don't require, then you can reduce it also. It's a scalability and elasticity is there. It also provides scalability, elasticity. One can increase or decrease storage capacity, resources extra according to the business needs. It does not provide any scalability and accessibility. What is the scalability means adding up. What is the scalability? Adding up means how to say scalability. For example, you know the switch, we can add multiple switch, so then we can able to increase our number of hosts in the single network, right? That is called scalability, increasing. I can add a more hard disk, scalability. I cannot add more than 4 disk, no scalability. Okay. For example, mesh topology, non-scalable. We can't add more pieces it because it's more complex. Star topology. We can add more PCs by adding a more switches or hubs to the central device. Then we can connect everything. So then we can connect more systems. Scalability means increasing. Okay, I have a 2 terabyte of disk. Now I want a extra 2 terabyte disk. So if I can able to add it, then it is scalable. If I cannot able to modify this, it's not scalable. Okay, for example, you take a laptop. Usually it is not scalable because you have already 1 terabyte hard disk is there. Then you cannot add another extra hard disk inside of your PC. You can use external hard disk. That's a different point. But if you take a desktop, there is a four SATA ports are there. You can add at least four disks to it. So possibility is there. If you want more, then you can't add it. But still, scalability means adding or decreasing capacity. One can increase or decrease the storage capacity, server resources according to the business needs. Like I need more RAM. Like I have already two channels are there. Each is 8 GB, 8 GB, for example. Now I want more RAM for my service. I can't increase it. But in a cloud, how much capacity we required, how much hardware capacity we required, that much we can able to increase it. That is a cloud services. And physically, it's difficult. It's having a lot of dependencies, cost effective. You have to buy equipment again to scale your resources, storage or server resources like CPU, RAM, hard disk, like that. Okay, elasticity. Elasticity is like we can say increasing. Elasticity actually name itself it's increasing. Refer to degree and which individual consumer produce change their demand or amount of supply in response to prime income changes. Okay, so this is a general statement given, but in a cloud you have to get the statement. Okay, normally elasticity means in a cloud computing, elasticity is defined as a degree to which system is able to adapt to the workload changes by providing and deprovisioning resources in an automatic manner, such that each point in the time available to resource match the current demand and closely possible. Last batch interview, they asked this question, so that's why I'm telling these points also. What is elasticity? What is scalability? What is elasticity? What is scalability? Oh, okay. Elasticity. Last time they asked this question. Elasticity. I didn't expect they asked this question. Scalability. Also they asked. Oh, scalability. Okay. So VMware is defining the scalability here. Last. Hmm. We'll take this one also. Where it is. So what it is? Increasing or decreasing of IT resources to meet change demands. Okay. So these questions are asked what is elasticity and scalability regarding. So I'm going to copy another statement from there. This is a small statements compared to the big statement. So what is elasticity and scalability? First understand what is scalability. Okay, so what is a scalability means? Adding a infrastructure or removing infrastructure based on the demand requirements. For example, I need a I need a more server. So for example, I have a server. It is running with just only one. I put a 8 GB RAM. Now, for example, we need a 8 GB extra, so we can increase it. Okay, so then next time again we requirement increases. Then add another 8 GB, for example. So you guys are having a 4 GB RAM and 8 GB RAM also, right? I said if you already having a 8 GB RAM, check your capacity. You can increase 8 GB RAM, another 8 GB. For example, your system support 16 or 32 GB. Add 8 GB. Better one time 16 GB is there. We can offer 6,000, right? So 6,000, you'll get a 8 GB RAM. Okay. If you have 4 GB RAM, so add 8 GB RAM. It will at least it will become 12 GB, right? Depends upon required capacity. Why 4 GB is there? Why? Because of people, it is a minimum lab because it's actually 4 GB laptop for the minimum people are using, but we are not minimum people, right? We are extreme people. We are using a virtualization servers, cloud computing, everything we are using. So we need a more RAM capacity for our practicals, right? For us we require more RAM capacity, so we are increase the RAM. So that is, can we increase more and more, like the limitation is 16 GB, for example. Can you put a 24 GB? Can you put a 32 GB? Like that, we can't increase. Depends upon your motherboard and CPU capacity. But in a cloud, we can able to increase it. Okay. Next, we can decrease it. This is scalability means, if, for example, I got a project, more number of access is there, more processing speed is requirement. So I increased my RAM capacity, and now after a few days, that much RAM capacity is not required, so I will decrease it. Okay, so like that is increasing and decreasing of IT resources. We call it as a scalability. Okay, understand, guys? What is scalability? At least anyone?
Yes, sir.
What it
Yes,
is?
sir.
Scalability. What is scalability? Just give me a
I
one
don't
step.
have. We can increase or decrease resources as per business need.
Very good. Okay, so we can increase or decrease the infrastructure as per the business requirement. So based on our project came. Very good. Now, what is elasticity? If you automate this process, for example, okay, for example, I will give you one simple example. It is elasticity is, anybody know, remember the Flipkart million days, or Amazon flash sales, Flipkart flash sales? Do you remember? Now it is not there, right? Now means not in these days. Only, oh, it's going to be start. Electronic sales 16 to 20th March. Now 15th. So tomorrow onwards it is going to be start. Okay, so buy any electronics things in a Flipkart. Okay, this is a best example in a thing. Okay, so big million days kind of stuff, or flash sales kind of stuff. Okay, big million days, flash sales. What will happen? Traffic increases on the server, right? Traffic is increases, flash sales. So buy at 12 p.m. What will happen? Everybody will log in at 12 p.m. So at immediately, so it exact at 12 p.m. you should be login to the Flipkart or Amazon, right? Flipkart, you are login, you have to buy, and then within 15 minutes you have to pay for it. So how much traffic will increases? The new mobile is launched. Now we are having a lot of options for mobile phone. Realme, Samsung. Samsung also two models are there. No, one is high end model and is a normal 20. Everything is around 15 to 20,000 nowadays. So people are ready to buy um, different models. So the flashes are not kick, but whenever the earlier days, they launch new product. So whenever they launch, what it is say, whenever they launch, what happened? New product or new mobile phone. So flash sales, 12 p.m. slays. If you miss it again after 15 days, they may give another sales moment again 12 o'clock flash sale. So what happened? Same time, if you can able to log into the PC, you have to authenticate it, you have to buy, you have to pay. This entire process suddenly increase the server. Suddenly, what will happen? Normally, for example, server resources are utilizing normally like this. This is a scale. So normally it is going on like this. So we should not start from starting. Okay, like this. This is a button and the sorry load. This is the load. In a flash sales, suddenly it increases. After flash sale completed, it decreases. Only few logins. Okay, only few logins. Like suddenly increases, then start decrease, and suddenly down, and normal it is going on. This is normal stage, up and down. But suddenly it reaches its peak stage, means lot of logins at a time, sales, searching, adding. So this 16 to 20th given in the Flipkart, right? So again, electronic sales. The load is like a moderated load will be there. Flash sale, high stage. So what is the difference between these things? For more number of users or more number of users to the server, the more load on the server. So what will happen here? The button will increases. So you are planning for scalable means manually you are changing the infrastructure, manually you are increasing the infrastructure. It's a difficult. Okay. So elasticity, the name elasticity means automatically it will verify the button. So based on the button, it increase the capacity. Elasticity means like a scalability, same as a scalability, but in elasticity, automatically it increase the capacity and decrease the capacity if load is less. It increase the capacity if load is high. It decrease the capacity when load is less automatically. But in a physical environment, like what we are using in a physical environment, that is difficult. Like you have to add a RAM if load is increases. You have to remove the RAM if load is decreases. And what you will do with that RAM? You don't know what to do with that one. Again, it's become extra RAM. So we cannot predict sometimes the load increase or decrease. But in a cloud computing, there is a good chance of like if load increases, we can increase the RAM capacity or resources capacity, processing, storage, or other things. It will we can predict it and we can increase automatically. So that is why it is called as elasticity. Scalability means adding or increasing or decreasing IT infrastructure based on our business requirement. Elasticity automate the scaling process. So increase or decrease of infrastructure based on the in- increment of services. C. Purpose of elasticity is to match resources allocated actual amount of resources needed by any given point time. So actually how much point required, so it will add up. Here also given a degree to which system is able to adapt to work load change by provisioning, deprovisioning resources in an automatic manner. So the spelling is mistake like me. Automatic, autonomic, such that each point in the time is available resources match the current demand as closely as possible. Okay, so demand increases, the resource provisioning is increases, the resources required resources automatically increases. And if demand decreases, the load on the server decreases automatically, it utilize the lesser the amount of resources. So based on optimized value, optimized based on the load is proportional to resource in elasticity. Here it is adding just like I don't know, I want 6 GB RAM. I added a now I added a some RAM, then it will become 8 GB RAM. I have a 4 GB RAM, now I want a 6 GB RAM. I add an extra 4 GB, now I have 8 GB RAM. So I cannot controlling to up to 6 GB. So that's like that. Now I want a 3 GB RAM. I remove 4 GB. Now I have a 4 GB. Like that. So this is like a manual type. Okay, manually are changing require infrastructure. This is automatically changing infrastructure based on the usage, elasticity and scalability. Guys, last time they asked this question. Okay. Another thing, cloud services by provider support team. It won't require won't means our administrator monitoring device people everything is required. Software is offered on a non-demand on-demand software as a service. It can be accessed through subscription service. Software purchased individually for every requirement updated periodically. Okay, this is another one. So I will share this link also. You can Google it. You can find lot of things. The difference between traditional data center to cloud computing. That is important question. So what are the questions here in this one? Difference between traditional data center to cloud computing. Next, what are the services by cloud? What are the service providers? Cloud service provider, public service provider, private type, hybrid, community. So the types of cloud services. Okay, clouds of service providers. Types, not service provider. Types of service provider. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay, actually private cloud, I'm trying to explain a private cloud, but uh, private and public are same thing only. Only thing is who is accessing and who is providing this kind of stuff. Okay, so first of all I'm going to directly I'm not explaining it, so I will do one by one. I will say, guys, yesterday last class last part we discussed about failover, right? So same thing only. I have a nodes. Okay, I have a host or nodes are there. For example, this is a node number is h1, h2, h3, and I have a centralized storage sandbox is there. Okay, so SAN will provide a centralized storage, and these are a different host. And I put everything into high level available services. Yesterday we discussed this one, right? In this one, I running a virtual machines. I created a virtual machine. Okay. Um, for example, this is V1, V2, V3, and everything is in network. Everything is in network. SAN store the virtual machines data. So in a SAN disk, it stores SAN or NAS. It store the virtual machines data, and every PC because it's a high availability, because of high availability or a failover. So every PC is exchanging their heartbeats. Heartbeat means live status. And another one is there through heartbeats, not only live data, also their running virtual machines information. Running virtual machine information. So this is high available part. What is high availability? If server is down, no problem, still we can able to provide a service like a ride. If a disk is down, no problem, still we can able to access the data. Mirror and write 5. Okay, mirror and write 5. If one of the disk is failure, no problem, still we can able to access the data. But failure is there, but access is also there. So that is called a high availability. Understand the word high availability. Okay, so this is a high available infrastructure I created finally. Okay, now for example, here is a person. Okay, here is a person. This person need a virtual machine. He need a virtual machine. Okay, is a user, normal user working in my organization. This is entirely my organization only, I'm not talking about other things. Okay, this is my organization, is working in my organization, or maybe is my client. He is a user, or we can say client. Client means different organization, user means my organization normally. Okay, so I have a client is working in a different organization, and so we have a agreement that we will provide a virtual machine also in that case, or maybe user in my organization, he need a virtual machine. So he need a virtual machine, and he said, I want a one CPU. I need a virtual machine which is having a one virtual CPU, one virtual CPU. Okay, one virtual CPU, and 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, and 200 GB hard disk. Understand? What are my requirements? One CPU, 4 GB RAM, 200 GB hard disk. So that is virtual machine. What he want? He want a virtual machine with this infrastructure. Plus, he want Windows 16 server in that one. So he has some work in that one. He want a Windows Server 2016 should be installed. And what he will do? Can he go to server room and create it? He don't have rights to access infrastructure directly also. Normal user or a client user don't have any rights to access my infrastructure. Okay. So he will send the information to admin. Who is this candidate? This admin is maintaining this infrastructure. He is responsible to maintain this infrastructure. This is the admin candidate. He asks admin, I want a virtual machine which is having one CPU, 4 GB RAM, and 200 GB hard disk, plus server should be installed in that one. Okay. So admin log into this infrastructure, and it means he is log into any of the host and find out which where the host free space is available. Find out where the free space is available. He will create a virtual machine. So he created a virtual machine and he give it to client. The client access the virtual machine. That's it. What it is again? So user required a virtual machine. He asked admin, I want a virtual machine with this infrastructure. Admin create a virtual machine and give it to client. So he will tell the client how to access the virtual machine, like a remote desktop or remote connection. So he will tell this is the IP address. So access the virtual machine. Very simple, right? But whenever number of hosts increases, if you have a one host, easy. If you have a two host, okay. Three host, it's okay. Four host, it is okay. And 10 host, no. 20 host, difficult to manage, right? Difficult to manage. Their high availability you should manage, and second one is you should know information about each and every host. You should monitor each and every host live status, and the virtual machine where to create every information we require. So what? And there is a machine. This is a machine is the top of this infrastructure. So this machine will take information from our cluster only. Take the information from the cluster, or it take the information from individual host. It depends upon what technology you are using. For example, Microsoft SCVMM. This is from Microsoft System Center Virtual Machine Manager. What it is? System Center Virtual Machine Manager. So that is a system, means it is a computer and install some operating system like Windows Server. SCVMM is nothing but a application. SCVMM is nothing but a application which installed in this machine. So using SCVMM, I can able to see all my host or entire my cluster, all my host and entire my cluster. What are the hosts in a cluster? What is their running status? And I will see how many virtual machines are running and which virtual machine and which host, virtual machine and which host having a more resources availability. It means lesser virtual. See, if you see H1, two virtual machines are running. H2, only one. H3, the new one. That's it, right? Which is having a more resources availability, H2 and H3 only, not H1, because it running already two, and H2 H3 it running one only. So I can decide which where I can able to create a virtual machine. Or SCVMM suggest you SCVMM suggests you which host has a more resources available, so then you can choose that one and we can create a virtual machines. Okay, so that is the thing. So this SCVMM maintain a cluster and maintain a individual host and the storages also. Okay, and it will maintain the virtual machines. You can able to see the virtual machine, we can access the virtual machine and status of virtual machines, host and storage and storage space availability. Okay, that one. So that is a SCVMM application. This is because of Microsoft. If in case, if I use a VMware, okay, if I use a VMware, think like Microsoft product. Host is hypervisor is Hyper-V, cluster is but default cluster by Microsoft only, and the central server, the centrally monitoring system, centrally administrating system is SCVMM, Central Administration System, for administrating host, virtual machines, cluster, and storage is SCCM. Okay. Now, if in case I am using VMware, if I am using VMware, host is vSphere or ESXi. The host hypervisor is vSphere or ESXi. The cluster is maintained by VMware product only. So one of the product is there. I will tell that one, and which that will maintain the high availability between the number of nodes or number of hosts and the storage server also. That is nothing but vCenter. Okay, VMware vCenter. You can type in Google also. What is a VMware vCenter? What is VMware vCenter? Is nothing but an application installed in a separate PC. Through that PC, you can able to access. Through that PC, we can able to access our host and the virtual machines in the host and storage. How to add extra storage? How to remove the storage? We can manage it from there and make sure that everything is in high availability. uh, okay, individual host are high availability part also. Just the only difference is organization's difference only, Microsoft or VMware. Okay, now Again, the question is, I'm reviewing my VM for, because again the query means job descriptions. Okay, so entirely I removing these parts only, question marks. Again, we'll come to back part. Okay, now this is the next level, right? So it solve the problem. Now the user need to create a virtual machine. Again, user problem. User want a virtual machine. He don't know how to create it, and he don't have access permission to our infrastructure. So he will send a information to admin. Admin look at, and admin this time log in directly to our SCVMM or a vCenter, depends upon what product they are using. Organizational issue. Okay, so they log into this center PC, means it's a centralized controller, right? So he check which PC having a less resources and verify. See, H1 is two virtual machines, H3 H2 two one machine, H3 no virtual machines. I got it. Okay, H3 don't have a more resources utilization, it is more free space is there. So I created a virtual machine here, but not directly through this vCenter or SCVMM. So I created a virtual machine. I created a virtual machine and I give it to my user. I said to my user, access this virtual machine. Access this virtual machine. Okay, guys, up to here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
very good. So admin is accessing central PC. Through central PC, he knows how many hosts are there, how much free space is there, how much resources are there utilized by host, which host having a more resources available. Based on that, he will create a virtual machine and give it to the client. So up to now user is requesting to admin. So every time I have to ask my admin, I need a virtual machine, admin, I need a virtual machine, admin, I need a virtual machine, like that. Think once, what if I don't want to ask my admin? Admin is easy to maintain or troubleshoot. Every time admin has to log into the central PC and maintain the PC and create a virtual machine, troubleshooting, lot of burden increases, right? So we have to give a easy thing for users. Maybe a user is already in my infrastructure, so then is authenticated user only. Okay, but I cannot give infrastructure access because compared to admin, normal user have a limited access, limited knowledge, right? He don't have a whole infrastructure knowledge. He don't require also. What is in infrastructure, remaining infrastructure, he don't need. What he need, user need a virtual machine. Always remember, what user require, that is a requirement. That is we have to give, not what we have. What we have, based on that we are agreeing. We can able to provide or you cannot able to provide. Understand? Whether you can able to provide or you cannot able to provide, it depends upon what you have. So that is infrastructure. Sorry, that is point of service. What user want, give him the user whatever he wanted. It's not like that. I am saying it is what we are agreed to give. So based on that user request, we'll give it. Okay. So user want everything. Like user want all your money. Okay. User want all your home, right? You want give, right? So you what we are agreeing, we'll give like a. A person came to shop. He want um, um, for example, sugar. Okay, are you selling a sugar? Yes. Then sell the sugar. Tell them kg, how much rupees. Take the money, give the product. If you say, if you are selling or no selling, if you say, chichi, get out from here. Okay, you cannot say that one. So you have to say the reason, or maybe you should serve. You should serve. That's it. You cannot, don't have a choice. If you are not a grocery seller, you are a vegetable vendor, and the guy came and asking for a sugar, you can't provide him because you are a vegetable vendor. It is, he said, this is not a grocery store. It is a vegetable shop, and go and find a grocery shop and buy there. So that is what service we are agreeing to give. What is meant to give, he must give. That is a ultimate point. User get what he want. That's the point. But here, user always requesting to admin for a virtual machine. So what I done, okay, what we done, we implement another system. So this central machine means SCCM or a vCenter depends upon what you are doing. Okay, so I created a new PC. Okay, it contains an application. This is also a system. It contains an application. What is that application? In a Microsoft SCAC. SCAC. Okay, it means System Center App Controller. The meaning of SCAC is System Center App Controller. SCVMM, System Center Virtual Machine Manager. System Center. If you have any time, try to type in Google like what is SCCM. SCCM. Okay, our system center, first system center, their components, system center configuration manager, system center virtual machine manager, system center app controller, system center DPM data protection management, system center OM orchestration management, operation management, sorry, orchestration management is also there, operation management is also there, SCSC service management, SCSM, SCSM, service management, system center service management. These are all system center products. We'll see that one later. No, we don't have time also. If you are using a VMware, if you are using a VMware, so I'm telling a world technology only, little bit world. Currently, it is there or not, I don't know. vCloud directory is there. It is also a tool. Point is, try to understand what I'm saying is VMware vCloud directory is it's another application. It runs in another system. It can maintain, it can connect multiple this kind of central servers. It can able to maintain a thousand of SCVMM PCs or vCenters. So multiple, I have a 10 vCenters are there. For example, I have a huge big infrastructure. I have a 10 vCenters are there. All 10 vCenters can connected to vCloud directory. Understand? I have a multiple host. For example, I have a 10 hosts are there, and I combine all hosts and connected to vCenter. So three vCenter I can able to, for using vCenter I can able to access 10 hosts. Okay. Now I have a more hosts. These remaining hosts are in a different V centers. Think like a diagram is there now. So I want this is a host, host, host. For example, this is vCenter. on top of all these hosts. All host information I can able to access using this vCenter like this. I have so many setups are there like this. Okay, so these are all host. For example, host 1, host 1, host 2, host 3, host 4, host 5, host 6, host 7, host 8, host 9, host 10, host 11. Okay, so okay, 11. So host 12, host 13, host 14, host 15, host 16. Okay, and this is a vCenters or a vCenters or a SCVMM means central PC. Okay, so this is for example vCenter, vCenter 1, 2, 3, 4. So this vCenter is the top of this host. So it will if you log into this one, you can maintain all these hosts. If you log into this one, you maintain all these hosts. So instead of logging to individual host, I'm logging to their central management pieces only. Okay. Now on top of it, I created a another machine. So in that application, so application what it is running, it will take the information of host, take the information of host through vCenters only. So it's become quite easy, right? So it can maintain multiple vCenters. So you don't need to log into one by one vCenter. Just log into this, and we can able to access all this kind of stuff. Okay, so we call this one as a vCloud directory is a world one or SCAC managing this one. One more is there that is called OpenStack. OpenStack is this kind of server only. Through OpenStack, you can connect your infrastructure. Not only a host, you have a SAN, NAS, iSCSI, storage related things, host related hypervisors means host PCs. You can connect through OpenStack. It's a open source cloud platform. What is OpenStack? OpenStack is open source cloud platform. Okay, open source cloud platform. OMR, so whatever it is. Usually used in a private cloud purpose only. Okay, guys, this is our infrastructure now. I created a system. I put a one system on top of my vCloud directories. Sorry, on top of my vCenters. I call that one as a vCloud directory. If I'm in a Microsoft, I said SCAC app controller application and one PC. Then I connected all my SCVMM machines which maintain the infrastructure. Next, otherwise I use a third-party application this like a OpenStack to maintain my hypervisors and storage also. Now the question is, we'll go to the question here. The question is how My user is creating a virtual machine. Now, what is the question? My user need a virtual machine. User need a virtual machine. We'll back to the user need a virtual machine. So ultimately, user whatever he wanted, he should get it, right. User need a virtual machine. He send a request to what happened here? He send a request to admin. I need a virtual machine. Then admin tell, why should I give you? Just log into our just log into our app controller or a vCloud directory, which is you can access like a web browsing, like how you see a thing in your right. Just for example, if you see here only, if you see from here, I upload a video to YouTube, right? From where I uploaded? From my PC only uploaded. To where I uploaded? YouTube only. Very simple, right? But did I go to YouTube office to upload the video? I didn't it. I use only simple web browser to do my task. Simply like that. Usually I log into this PC instead of going to office. I log into here only because it appears in my web browser. So I will give a website URL. So admin is giving a URL. Go to this URL and log in with your credential because I already given a credential to you. So log in with your credentials, okay, or create your own account. Log in. Create a virtual machine. Create a virtual machine as per your requirement. Understand? So ultimately, user is getting virtual machine now. But this time, admin is not creating virtual machine. User is creating virtual machine. Understand? User is creating virtual machines. Whatever the infrastructure he required, he is going to create his own virtual machine. So you don't need to depends upon admin always. Admin create a virtual machine like that. You don't need to ask admin. Simply open the URL, open the name, that IP address or URL, and log in to your uh, SCAC or vCloud directory and access that infrastructure and create a virtual machine. SCVMM or a vCenter has a one property. You don't need to select your you need to select which host should have your virtual machine. Anyway, you cannot select also. It automatically detect the host and tell it will create your virtual machine automatically where the resources available. What is the advantage is the user also no need to have an idea of host information, and he don't have any idea of our backend host information. He should have an idea of how to create a virtual machine. That's it. He will create a virtual machine. The machine will be created in a under any of the host. Okay. So user requested on a web browser. I want a virtual machine. The virtual machine can be created here, or maybe here, or maybe here, or maybe here. So anywhere virtual machine can be created and run. Important thing is virtual machine is created or not. Can you able to access your virtual machine or not? Okay, are you that is the ultimate point of user, right? User having a virtual machine, yes. User having a virtual machine as per his requirement, yes. Who created the virtual machine? User only know. So how it is possible? Because of this vCloud directory or a SCAC or a OpenStack. So it depends upon what product the company is using. Okay, company products use. Okay, so this is called what is this called? infrastructure as a service. It is called infrastructure as a service. So, what is infrastructure as a service? It is like creating a virtual machine in a cloud. What is a infrastructure as a service is nothing but creating a virtual machine in a cloud. So when you call that one virtual machine means you're accessing infrastructure from the cloud. Just like you said, OpenStack. The OpenStack works in a different ways. So I worked with OpenStack, but I didn't remember where I kept the old one. See, here it is. This is a user interface. This is a admin interface. This is OpenStack. It contains infrastructure and storage. Normally, user requests for a virtual machine to admin. So this is a user. This is admin. Request for a virtual machine to admin. So what admin will do? It log into is OpenStack. Okay, he log into OpenStack and he asks how much infrastructure he required. So for example, user said, I want 4 CPUs, 8 GB RAM, okay, 400 GB hard disk. So then user idea is he is going to create a 4 virtual machines, but he is not asking virtual machine now. He is asking, I need this infrastructure. I need this infrastructure. So admin is going to OpenStack and create a project for user one. For user one, he is going to create a project. There they said, so give 4 GB CPU, sorry, 4 virtual CPUs, for virtual CPU, 8 GB RAM, 100 GB hard disk space to user one. It is user wish to create its virtual machine, either one machine or maybe a two machines or maybe a four machines. It purely depends upon user. User is getting infrastructure through internet. What is infrastructure as a service? Get infrastructure through internet. Very simple. You are getting infrastructure through internet. You can create a virtual machine as your requirement and pay for what you are using of my infrastructure. So that is infrastructure as a service. So to understand private cloud, you can understand this one. It's a simple one. Okay. If you don't understand, okay, no problem. Just understand the layers. Later, when you learn about this kind of stuff, you will understand SEA, VMM, SEA, CRSE, CM kind of stuff. You'll understand these things. How to maintain infrastructure, how to combine number of hosts into uh, high availability services, okay, and how to combine multiple vCenters or SCVMM to centralized PC. So then users directly can able to access the cloud PC using web browser and create a virtual machine and run the virtual machines. This is a private cloud, internal organization only. For example, if you are talking about public cloud, I put this interface in the public. I put this interface in a public, then become public cloud. So what is a public cloud? Accessing infrastructure through network by anyone. So that is a public cloud. Here, um, two small points are there. So I would say I told about private cloud. Then what is a public cloud? Private cloud means actually it's a single tenant. Single tenant. Private cloud means single tenant. What is single tenant means? You are the owner of house and you are the tenant of that house. Means you are staying in that house only. Entire burden is based on you, your profit, your everything. So that is a simple private. I usually give example. Try to understand with the example if you can. If you ever went to shoppings like in Hyderabad, best examples are there like a KTM mall, South India shopping mall, like malls are there. The mall means not shopping mall like a Pune Central Mall. I'm not talking about Central Mall or Big Bazaar kind of stuff. Okay, Big Bazaar is the best example. If you see the Big Bazaar, the entire building is belongs to Big Bazaar only. Okay, Reliance is almost like a Reliance Digital, Reliance Smart, Reliance Fresh. Mostly everything combinedly in a same building. Or maybe see the Kalyan Jewelries, entire building, Kalyan Jewelries only. In Hyderabad, we have a shop, RS Brothers, kind of stuff. Chandana Brothers. Entire building is belongs to Chandana Brothers only. Even though they taken a rent, but entire building is one responsible load only. Okay, it is depends upon your business. How much business is growing. So how much your business is growing, based on that you are paying to maintain the infrastructure, right? So for example, I have a 10 data center. I keep all 10 data center into the private cloud, which is used for my users only, my users, my company purpose only I'm using. I'm not giving rent to anyone. So that is called a private cloud. Then what is a public cloud? What is public cloud? Like a shopping malls like Central Mall, PVR Mall. Okay, guys, you went there right already in a college days. You done a festival. Okay, you go to lot of malls and all, right? Shopping mall, like Central Mall or PVR Mall or mall. Mall means what happened? So one big building having several floors. One big building having several floors. In each floor having a four or five shops, right? Different shops. Maybe Max, FBB, Kamal watches, KFC, McD, or maybe Domino's, maybe that one more. Last time I purchased that one. Some Indian trade something is there. I forget that name. Okay, so Wrangler, like jeans, Wrangler. Okay, Levi's handbags and other things. Levi's, um, local stores. Sometimes local people also come and sell the products. Right now they are allowing that one. Local stores, movie theaters, popcorn centers, coffee shops like coffee day kind of stuff. Coffee shops. So one building having a several different shops. So it is like a public cloud. It means I build a building and I given a rent to some other shop. I didn't sell the floors. I didn't sell the shops. What I said, pay as long as you keep a shop here. Once you leave it, get out from here. So we don't. So pay as long as you are here. If you are want to leave after 1 year, no problem. You can leave. Okay. So that is like a public cloud. I have a big infrastructure. I have a thousand or maybe 100 or 200 data centers there. Now I convert everything into the cloud. How to convert it? First virtualize it, then adding into a central PC. and give it to publicly. So I will put my cloud entire infrastructure into publicly. So users, anybody, either me or you or maybe a company like a Savantis, Cognizant, like that companies are there. No? So those company wise or maybe a individual person wise also create a infrastructure in the public cloud, or you can access the public cloud thing. So based on our requirements. For example, I want to develop a application. Even when we start with Linux and Windows operating system, I told about if you don't have an infrastructure required infrastructure of your laptop, like you have a 2 GB RAM, 32-bit processor, and all, and you cannot afford a new PC to buy. Okay, what you will do instead of paying 30,000 or 40,000 for laptop, so you can pay 1,000 rupees for utilizing cloud services. You can create your own virtual machine with Windows 10 or Linux or maybe a server. Maybe you cannot able to install a Oracle, then go to Oracle and go to Oracle Cloud Services. So there's a few days of free trials version are there. Meantime, complete the lab and close it and remove the card. As long as you pay, you will get the services. So this is about your public cloud. Hybrid cloud, I have an infrastructure, I'm using a private cloud, but the new project or a new thing is came up, but I need a more infrastructure. So I cannot buy more infrastructure by sake of temporary project work. So I will use the public cloud and combine with my private cloud, so then I can smoothly run that project. So that is called a hybrid cloud. Community cloud is a combination of different organizations and come together and working for a single purpose. That is a community cloud. Okay. I told a big story. I will explain this infrastructure as a service, password as a service. Sorry, yeah, mind is not at all working. Okay, platform as a service, software as a service. After the break, guys, take a 15 minutes break. Okay.